Okay, please confirm if my screen is visible. Please check your audio and video settings. Can someone confirm? Okay then. Thank you, Sudhir. Okay, today we are on the 22nd class. Well, let's do a quick recap. On Saturday, what was the discussion about? So we have started to understand about installation, right? So how to write a first Java program, that part we have completed. Followed by we started to understand how to perform the Java installation. Forget about the compilation. First, we need to install the Java software. And after the installation, what are the things that we are going to get? So what are the actual steps to perform the installation? So we have to choose the Java 1.8. Because if you see, there are so many Java versions, but in the industry, if you ask me, more 95% of the industries are expecting you to know Java 1.8 version. So there are about 23 versions, and there are small changes in each and every version. But 1.8 is one of the major versions. After 1.5, 1.8 is the major version. After this, you have the a little major version, I can say, Java 11 version. But industry is preferring to use Java 1.8 version. So we are going to understand the Java programming language on top of 1.8 version. Right? Able to follow. Then so we have to download what 1.8 version, Java 1.8. If you download 1.8, it is like covering all the previous versions also. All the previous versions also will be covered till Java 1.8. And you just search for Java 1.8, right? Then after that you get this archive file, right? Then after that, what would happen? And what is the step 3? So this is the step 3. Okay, you need to accept the terms and conditions, and after hitting the download button, you get this page, and you have to fill in some details, right? So after the downloading, you will get a Java setup in the form of jar file. Okay, you need to click on finished, and then installation gets completed. But after installing, you need to do what? You need to understand few more things after the installation. Installation is completed. After installation, we need to understand few more things. Okay, how the compiler is communicating with the operating system and the Java software. How this kind of communication is happening behind the scenes, right? So when you do Java, basically we know two commands, right? If I ask you how many commands do you know in Java, right? For example, let us take a class A. Okay, if I have a class A, I know how to do the compilation. How I can perform the compilation by using a command. We know that command. Java C is the command. This is the compilation, and I know how to perform the execution. Okay. Instead of saying I know, we know how to perform the execution. We know how to perform the compilation. These are the two prominent commands that we have come across. But to activate this compiler, to activate this compilation command, what are the things that the operating system has to go through? Okay, that part we will understand, right? So having said this, okay, today's class is class 22nd. Right? What I have just said, after installation, after performing the Java installation, there will be a folder called Java folder. Okay? So basically it is like this. So it gets installed in the C drive. So by default, it is going to get installed in the C drive. Okay? After this, by default, there will be a folder called program files. So inside this program, if you don't do anything, and if you hit on next, this is what happens behind this. 3C program files and a Java folder gets created. Okay. Inside this Java folder, okay, there will be two. Okay, let me do this. Program files, and there is a folder called Java folder. Okay. Inside this Java folder, there will be two parts. Okay. One part is JDK. Okay. JDK is an acronym for what? Java developing kit. Okay, so we developers, we are going to use this JDK a lot, right? And there is another part called JRE. JRE means Java runtime environment. So this is for the client. So this is for the developers, and this is for the client. Okay, So there will be a folder called JDK. There will also be a folder called JRE. Okay. Inside this JDK folder, you will find a subfolder again. Okay. What is the name of that subfolder? The name of the subfolder is bin. There is a subfolder called bin subfolder. Okay. Inside this bin subfolder, you will find a lot of tools to develop Java programming language. What kind of tools that we are going to find inside the bin folder? If you ask me, I would say there is a tool called Java C. There is a tool called Java. Okay, there is a tool called Java Doc. There is also a tool called Java P. So there are so many such tools inside this bin folder. So many such tools. So these tools has been given by the Java people for the developers. A developer, if you want to develop Java program, you can use these tools comfortably. Okay, so we can use these tools comfortably. What are the operations that each and every tool is going to perform? Okay, what are the each and every tool? What kind of help we can get from each and every tool? What kind of help we will get? Okay, Java C, we know Java C is basically for compilation. We know that, no need to keep any discussions. Okay, compilation. Okay, and you know Java, the typical Java tool, you can call it as a command, but instead of calling it as a command, I ask you to recognize this as Java tools. Okay, so Java software is giving you some tools to develop the programming language, to create an application. So these are the tools that you will come across. Java is also a tool and Java is also a language, but in this context Java is a tool. So inside the bin folder there is a Java. In this context Java is a tool. So this tool is used to perform what? This tool is used to perform execution. So you use these commands as a command in the command prompt, but basically you call it as what? You call it as a tool. According to the programming language, you should pronounce it as a tool. So these are part of Java tools. And what is the operation of Java doc? So what is operation of Java doc? To generate documentation. We have discussed this in the comment section. Document generation. So by using this tool, you can able to do what? You can able to generate documents. Right? And what is the purpose of Java P? We haven't discussed about this. This is just to give the description. Yes, there are so many such tools, but which one are very important? The first three tools are very important. The first three tools are very important. If I open my folder, okay, if I go through all these folders, subfolders, and if I want to find JDK, if I want to find bin, can I able to see all these tools? Yes, you can able to see. Okay, I have already installed my Java software. If you go to C drive, inside the C drive there is a folder called program files. Inside that you can see Java here. Java is a subfolder inside the program files. Inside that you can see two parts. Okay, one is JDK, second one is JRE, right? JDK followed by, you can see the version and things like this, right? And the year release, things like that. If you click here, there is again a subfolder called bin folder, right? If you click here, you'll see a lot of Java tools. All these tools are Java tools. But what are the tools that we actually require? Java C, Java Doc, and Java, right? And there are tools like Java HS tool, Java PS tool. No need to worry about this. So if I ask you a question, where you can find Java tools? If I ask you a question like this, you should say, I can find Java tools in the JDK folder. Inside that there is a folder called bin folder. Inside that I can find all the Java tools. Right? So this is what you get after the installation. This is one thing. This is one part. Okay. So now keep this aside. Now keep this. Okay. Just keep it just like that. Just like that. There is another thing. Okay. We have another folder called JRE now. We have another folder called JRE, right? So JRE is an acronym for what? JDK is an acronym for Java Developing Kit. Right? And JRE is an acronym for Java Runtime Environment. Okay. What this folder is going to give? What kind of benefits that we are going to get out from this folder? Okay. The moment you open JRE. Okay. Before even understanding that, let me give you this notes. Okay. It's very important. Java developing tools are part of the Java development kit. Okay. If I ask you a question, where do you find Java developing tool? You should be in a position and to say it is a part of Java development kit. Inside that, there is a folder called bin folder. Inside that, I will find all my Java tools. Right? They are part of what? Java development kit. Right? And these tools are used to perform some operations on the some operations on what? Some operations on the Java programming language. Right? Examples. So where do you usually find this? I can just copy this path, absolute path, and I can paste it here. Very simple. Usually you will find Java tools in this folder. Making sense? Right? Now, okay. So what about JRE? What about JRE? So we have understood about the Java tools, and it is found in the bin folder inside the JDK kit. And what about the JRE? Okay. So the moment you open JRE, JRE stands for runtime environment, and there are two important subfolders that you can see. The moment you open JRE, you would be finding two subfolders. One subfolder is what? Bin is one of the subfolders. The second subfolder is what? Second subfolder is lib. Li. You can say that lib is a library. You can say, okay. You are going to find what? Two subfolders, bin and lib. Okay. You don't have to do anything with the bin, but lib is giving you some advantages. Lib is going to help you with something. What is that something? I will tell you. So inside the lib, there is a particular jar file called, you can call this jar file as rt.jar file. rt.jar. Okay. So this jar file, inside this jar file, you will find a lot of predefined .class files. Okay. Please be informed that inside this jar file, you will find a lot of predefined .class files. So when I say predefined .class files, if you remember yesterday I was telling you, if you remember, if you are developing a Java class, or if you as a programmer, if you are taking any Java class, okay, the purpose of the compiler is to do what? Compiler will do compilation, right? So before even performing the compilation, compiler will see if this programmer has forgotten to return some default things. What did I say? What did I say in the yesterday's class? There is a default package called lang package. By default, even if the programmer is forgetting it, or if the programmer places it here, no issues. If programmer is forgetting it, compiler is going to add an import statement by default. What is that import statement? Import java.lang package, lang.star. Okay. So the reason I have specified this in red color is because these things are done by the compiler by default. Compiler has been given such instructions. A compiler, please remember, if the programmer is forgetting to import this package, your job is to make sure that this package is placed. If the program is facing, no issue. So this is one of the default package that will be placed by the compiler, right? So, and again, you as a programmer, you would be requiring some other packages like, so packages are nothing but you will import some functionalities. You will, what we call it as, you borrow some functionalities. For example, there is a package called util package, java.util package. So you will import all the collection package. So these are the predefined packages that is available. So these are the predefined packages that is available. Where that is available? These packages are available inside this rt.jar file. Where it is available? Inside this rt.jar file. All the predefined packages in Java, all the predefined functionalities that is given by the Java people is available inside where? rt.jar file. Where I can see rt.jar file. What is the path? Okay. See program files, right? And there is a folder called Java folder, and you have to get into this JRE, and you can see bin folder and you can see lib folder. Inside this lib folder, okay, there you go, and you can see a folder, you can see a jar called rt.jar. Okay, this one. Inside this, you will find all the .class files related to Java. all the predefined .class files related to Java, right? These two are these two are few of them. These two, the two we have just imported, right? Okay, so you are importing it where it is available. It is available where inside the Java software. Exactly, if I want you to tell you the specific location, it would be found in naughty.jar file. So this is also called as what? Executable jar. Executable means it is available for you for the runtime. I mean, when you are executing the Java program, it is available for you. I mean, you can say there are lot of .class files inside this rt.jar. It is made available for you to make these things easy for you, to develop the program easy for you. Right? Having said this, okay, why we are discussing all this? Why we are actually discussing all this? That could be the question. Okay, now let me write a simple Java program. Okay, so now focus here. This understanding is very important. I am taking the class name as simple. Okay, since I am saying it is a simple Java program, I want to take the class name as simple. And inside this, I am taking a main method, public static void main string array box. If I ask you what kind of class is this, what would be your answer? Can you tell me what kind of class is this? Unmute and talk. If I ask
public.
you, it is not public class, default class.
Yeah,
Default class. The second thing is you should also say that this is also a main class. Why you should say this is also a main class? You can say this is a default class. Absolutely, it is default because no public access modifier. So, and then why you are saying it main class? You are placing a main method. You can take any number of classes, but the class which has the main method is also called as the main class. Right? I can say that default class or default class as well as main class. These things I can say. After this, what I am doing, I am taking system.out.println. Okay, testing. The simple text message I want to display in the console. Now focus here. Okay, let me keep it as public. Now it is a public class. Let me keep it as public. Okay, so this code is being written in the notepad. Now you focus back to, let us go back to the plain screen. Okay, so what I'm trying to show, the communication between the operating system and the Java software, how the communication is happening. That part I'm showing you. Okay, let me take this as my system. Okay, this is my system. I am bifurcating the system into two parts because in my system there is an hardware. Okay, there is an hardware, right? When I say hardware or hard disk, it means my system hardware is partitioned into two parts. One is C drive and the second one is what? Second one is D drive. Okay, let us assume that this part is for what? C drive. Okay, this part is for what? C drive. I am just using C colon or C drive, and this part is for what? D drive. Okay. So, do I have only two parts? Yes, I have one C drive and I have one D drive. Okay, I have just separated this two memory areas. So this I am talking about the hard disk. Even RAM is there. So RAM always comes into picture only when you are executing the program. You talk about RAM, but now we are trying to understand about SD card or the memory card, the hard disk that I am trying to talk about, because softwares are getting installed. They get installed in the hard disk. They don't get installed in the RAM. Yes or no? They get installed in the hard disk, right? So this is my, imagine that this is my system. It has been separated into two drives, C drive and D drive, according to the memory spaces. Okay, and also inside my system, in every laptop or every computer, okay, there will be one operating system. There will be one OS. So in my system, the OS is Windows 64-bit operating system. What is it? Windows 64-bit operating system. Windows 64-bit operating system. Okay, so inside my operating system, by default, this my Windows operating system, by default it has a lot of folders. I mean, it has lot of applications. When I say applications, the WordPad is one of the application, the Notepad, MS, all the Microsoft applications like PowerPoint, Excel, Word, and what we call it as, there are so many things will come to me by default. Apart from that, there is also a an application, a kind of application like command prompt. So no, you have the command prompt. What is the purpose of using the command prompt? Command prompt is used to talk to your operating system. So I can say that in my operating system there is a function, there is an application called command prompt. You can give commands to this, the form of, you can use commands and you can instruct your operating system to do some task. Okay, these things can be done by using what? By using the command prompt. Right? So where is the command prompt? Somewhere here. Okay, just you can type command prompt, you will get the command prompt. This is a system operating system command prompt. You can give instructions. Okay, according to the, if the instructions are valid, it is going to respond to you. You can talk to it. You can talk to your system. Okay, so that is a command prompt. And again, I have installed my software. By default, it is getting installed where? It is getting installed inside this C drive, right? So what is happening? I have two folders again inside the C drive. Okay. So there is one folder and there is also another folder. Let me copy and paste this. Focus here. This thing is very, very important. Two folder. After installing the Java software, what is happening? If you click on next, by default, okay, so inside the C drive there is program files. Inside that there is a folder called what? There is a folder called Java folder. There is a folder called what? There is a folder called Java folder. Right? Inside Java folder, what did I just say? If you go and see, JDK is one of the parts and JRE is another part, right? So I can tell like, so there is a Java development kit. Okay. So this folder is for JDK. Okay. And this folder is for what? This folder is for JRE. Right, inside JDK we have what? We have Java tools. There are some good tools that we use very often. Let us say Java C we have, and we have Java we have. These tools are used for us. These are helpful for us to execute our Java programs for the compilation and for the execution. Okay, inside JRE we have what? rt.jar file. So this file, this is going to have a lot of .class files that is going to help us in one or other way when we are developing big applications in the future. Okay, so far so good, right? And now we need to understand how the operating system is communicating with this. Okay, so now what I have just done, let me remove this. Okay, so these things are in the C drive. In the D drive, what I am doing, if you see, I have written a Java program. Okay, this program has been written in the notepad. I want to save it somewhere, but I like what? I like to save this in the D drive. Okay, what I'm choosing here, file, save as. Okay, in the D drive, I am choosing a folder called Java Focus here. Inside the D drive, it is my own decision. I want to save. My location needs to be chosen by the programmer. So I am choosing this location. I am comfortable in this location. So Java 2 is a folder inside. Okay, and what is the naming convention? Someone unmute and tell me by what extension I need to save and what should be the class name. If you ever have to save this Java program, how should I save this? Or you can type in the chat box. What should be the file name? .java is okay. Name of the class, name of the file.
Class simple.
Simple.java, right? Simple.java. Okay, it is compulsion or recommendation? It is compulsion. Why compulsion? You are using the class name access modifier as public. Public means always remember, no matter what, okay, there are no other ways. Okay, you should follow what? You should use the class name.java if it is public. Compulsion, it is a compulsion, not recommendation, compulsion. Okay, so these things are saved. Okay, now what did I just do? Okay, if you go and see, hey, there is a folder called D folder. Inside this D folder, there is a subfolder called Java 2. Inside this, my program has been saved. The same thing, I am just, for our imagination, I am just using the paintbrush, right? So the program has been saved in such location. So this is what my code is. Not copy that. Let me copy this. Okay. So this is my code. Right, so where the code is saved means where this code has been stored So by using D drive, that is, I have created my own folder called Java 2. Okay. Inside this, what is the name of the file name? Okay, this file name has become what? Simple.java. Right? Simple. Right. So far things are good. So good. So there is a C drive and there is a D drive. So already we have a Java software inside the C drive, and already there is a Java program inside the D drive. Now my operating system is able to recognize, okay, this file is a Java code. But how we can communicate? How you can do what? How you can activate this Java C? Okay, that is the $1 billion question. How these things can be activated? Okay, let me increase my command prompt. Let us say that, okay, this is my command prompt. Okay, but first of all, before activating the compiler, you should give instructions to your command prompt saying that it should point to the right directory first of all. So if this is your command prompt, you should you should do what? You should ensure that your command prompt is pointing to the right directory. When I say right directory, where my Java files are getting saved, that is my right directory in this context. In this context, when I say right directory means right directory. When I say right directory, okay, in this context, the right directory is I am working on the Java program. I'm saving my files in my preferred location. So this should be my right directory, right? I should direct my command prompt to point to this right directory. How I can do that? If I open command prompt, the directory is different. It says I'm just pointing towards in the C drive inside users folder and subfolder. I want to change this. What is my directory here? Okay, this program has been saved inside the D drive. First of all, I should change the directory from C to D. How do I change that? Just very simple. Just give D followed by semicolon, not semicolon, colon. Give enter. Okay. Now the command prompt started pointing to the D drive. Can I just point it to the D drive? No. Where is my Java file has been stored? My Java files in my Java simple.java file is placed inside Java 2 folder. Right? So again, I should ensure that this command prompt is doing what? Okay, you are pointing this command prompt to the right location. So inside the D drive, there is a folder called Java 2. How do I go into that? Very simple command, change directory. Okay, cd means change directory space Java. Okay, the moment you give this command, now the command prompt is doing what? It is pointing towards the right directory. Now the command prompt has a direct connection with this particular file, or with this inside this particular folder. Able to follow? Okay, first ensure that your command prompt is pointing to the right directory. Okay, that is what we have done. Okay, now the command prompt has what? It has a direct connection with what? Connection with your file. This direct connection with your file. It has access to your file. It is not direct access to the file. It has access to this location. Location means, when I say location, till here it has access. Till here it has complete access. D followed by Java 2. Inside Java 2, you can keep any number of Java files. That is secondary. But it has access till this folder. Okay. After this, how do I perform the compilation? That is the question. What happens when you give compilation command? Right? So what is the command for compilation? What is the typical command for compilation? Can anyone help me? Compilation command?
Java C.
Java C space simple.java, isn't it? So that is the typical command for compilation. Right? So I need to use a tool called Java T. So now you observe, now you focus here. So everything is okay, but this Java C is here, right? But our command prompt is what? It is focusing here. How do I connect this two? How do I activate something that is not here, that is somewhere here? It is inside the C drive. Okay, but my command prompt is pointing towards this D drive inside a folder called Java 2 folder. How do I give the connection? Right? So what happens the moment you start giving, okay, let me go here. The moment you start giving Java C space Okay, what do you want to compile? Which file you want to compile? Simple.java, right? Simple.java. The moment you start giving this command, okay. So behind the scenes, compiler needs to get activated. So this is the command you want to give. This is the command you want to give to activate the compiler. Right? Let me take it in black. Okay. So behind the scenes, what are the things going to happen? Command prompt will try to see, okay, the programmer has given me some job. He is asking me to do something. Okay. This is the programmer's language. He is asking me to, programmer is asking me to find Java. See, very big task. Programmer has given me a very big task. A command prompt will think like that and will try to locate where is this Java. See, first of all, command prompt will recognize this as a tool. First of all, what happens the moment you give? Okay, let me put it in a layman's term. Command. Okay, Java will, the command prompt will be like, okay, Java. See, okay, it is a command. It must be a command. A programmer is asking me to find this command first of all, right? So whenever, now focus here, guys, very important. These lines are very important. Whenever the programmer means us uses this Java C command where inside the command prompt, inside the command prompt. Okay, the command prompt will check for, it will check for that command or tool 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 inside two locations. Say how many locations it is going to find this? It is going to find this command inside these two locations. First location, basically by default, it will go and see, okay, is there any such command in the operating system command list. Now operating system by default, so many commands would be there. It's going to check that. The programmer has given me some task. Let me check whether it is there inside the command prompt. Operating system command list. If not, if it is not found here, it's going to check in the environment variables. Environment variables. Okay. Now the question is, where this command prompt can be identified, where this specific command, focus here, where this Java C would be identified. Okay, the command prompt will check here. Definitely it will not be here. Definitely it will not be here because operating system is, Java software is not available by default in the operating system. You as a programmer, you have downloaded the Java software and you have installed it. So definitely it is not going to be here. That part I can give guarantee. Definitely it is not here. So what is the remaining place? What I am just doing. Okay, what is the remaining place? It has to check in environment variables. Now, if you ask me what is environment variable, very simple. Go to your operating system and search for environment variables. You will find a command like this: edit the system environment variables, right? And you get system properties pop-up, right? So inside this pop-up, okay, you need to choose advanced. Okay, so there are so many things that you can see here. You need to choose advanced. Inside this, there is something called environment variables. Okay? If you go and see here, what is your job here actually? Your job has to be what? There are two parts here. One is what? One is user variables for user. Second one is what? System variables. Okay, this environment variables has been divided into two parts. One is user variables for users, and system variables. Okay, so the moment you are installing the Java software, after the Java software installation, under the systems variables, you can see something like path here. Path. Okay, double click here. You will see a lot of path. You need to add a specific path. Let me repeat. You need to add a specific path. If you see that specific path, you need to add the JDK path. Very important. Here you need to add what? You need to add JDK path. JDK 1.8 followed by up to bin path you need to add. Why up to bin path? Why guys up to bin path? You go and see all the Java tools are available inside where? Local disk C, program files, okay, and Java is here, Java, JDK 1.8 is there. There is a folder called bin folder. Inside this, you can see, and Java C is one of the tool. Sir, no, I have said you right. Inside the bin folder, you can find all the Java tools. Right? Java C is one among them. Where is Java C? Where is Java C? This is Java C. You should define this path inside here, or especially in the system variables. This is how you should. So if you are not, after installation, you just need to do what? You just need to add new, okay, and you just copy that path, and you should just paste it here and click on OK. Since I have already copied, no issues. Okay. Why up to bin? Because inside the bin folder you have all the Java tools, right? Oh, let me copy this. Now you see, try to put some efforts to understand this. Let me maximize this. Okay. Let me copy this also. Stick to done. Now you see, let us come back to this topic. Okay. Now use command prompt. Whenever you are giving the Java C command, very important. Whenever you are giving Java C command, your command prompt will be checking for this command in two locations. First location is operating system command list. It will not be there because Windows will not give you Java software by default. It will check in environment variable. Right? Inside the environment variable, it is to find for what command? Java C command. You as a programmer, you know where the Java C command is. Where is the Java C command? If I ask you, you would say, sir, Java C command is inside the C drive program files, and there is a Java folder. There is a JDK subfolder. Inside that bin folder is there. Okay, inside that there is a command called Java C. Okay, this is the absolute path. This is the absolute path. You should give this absolute path inside where? Inside the environmental variables. That is your job. You should give that absolute path over what? Environment variables. Right? So what is this, sir? What is this? This is user is there, and this is system variables is there. Again, it is categorized into two parts. One is user, second one is system. You have to give this in the system variables. Okay. After giving this in the system variables, now you would ask me, there are two separate purposes. One is for user and one is for system. Okay, inside the environment variable, the moment you open this, okay, you would be able to find two things here. Okay, one of the things is for what? The user variables. Okay, second one is for system variables. Okay, so if you are the single user, you can use here for single users. Single users means in an operating system there can be more than one user. Okay, your system is assembled in such a way that it is only for single user purpose. You can give that absolute path under single users, but when you are giving it under the single users, this is how the command should be. Let me show that for you as well to avoid confusion. Okay, so when you are giving it for the single user, you should click on new. After clicking on new, you will get a folder like this. Okay, the variable name should be Java underscore O. Okay, and the variable value should be till JDK 1.8. That's it. You don't need to specify bin also. Till JDK 1.8 you can stop. If you are placing it under user variables for user. Okay, let me take a screenshot of this. Okay, but prefer system user. Okay, prefer system user. If you are using user variables, you need to follow this. For user variables, you need to do what? You need to follow this. For user variable, I will share this file to you. Java home, and you need to give path till JDK 1. Till this path is enough. Till where? Till JDK path. Till here. From here for user, for single user, from here till here you can stop. Okay. For system variables, here till here. Right? Okay, so far good. We have already, let us assume that we have already done all these things. Okay, it is going to check in environment variables. It has identified that, okay, there is a path called bin path. It will check each and everything. There are so many paths. Oracle path in my system, Oracle path is there, MySQL server, Git is there, so many, Perforce is there, so many is there, and Java is one among them. It will check all the paths. At last, we will able to identify, okay, Java C as command has been recognized inside this particular path. What is a particular path? Okay, it is going to see each and every path. After this, what it will do? Okay, it will identify Java C is one of the typical command inside this path. Okay, so we'll check, okay, there is a command called Java C. Okay, it has been able to identify this command inside this environmental variables. Right now the command has been identified by the command prompt. Okay, now Java C is a typical command, okay, which is available in JDK. Is available inside JDK. Java C is identified here, JDK folder. Inside JDK there is a bin, inside bin there is Java C. It is identified. Okay, now the command prompt will ask to this Java C, hey, I am asked you are being executed, right? And please start the execution. Okay, then Java C will be like, okay, I am the compiler. So this is the code. What is our actual code? So this is our actual code, isn't it? So this is our actual code. Okay. Once the command prompt starts interacting with what? What? Once the command prompt starts interacting with the Java C command, right? Okay, the compiler gets activated. So this is the source code. Okay, the moment you give this command, this is what happening behind the scenes. You are activating the compiler with the command inside the command prompt. Okay. Now compiler will do two jobs. Okay, compiler is going to do what? Two jobs. First, it will take your source code. What is the source code? Simple.java is your source code, right? Simple.java is your source code. It will take inside the source code. It will perform two operations. First is what? It will check for syntax errors. Second one is it will also check for semantic errors. So what is the semantic? What is syntax error? Syntax errors means it will check each and every keyword. Public keyword, okay. Public keyword are in lower cases. Class is in lower cases. Simple, okay. User defined Java name. I mean user defined class name. Okay, public, static, each and every keyword. Okay, you can also say that the keyword should be as per the what Java instructions. Okay, so the violation should not happen. Those things will be taken care by syntax errors. Okay, then what is the semantic errors? If you ask what is the semantic errors, it will check if the program is properly formatted or not. When I say formatting, I've shown you already. Okay, first in the top of the class there should be what? Package statement should come first. Okay, followed by import statement, followed by class names. Inside the class there should be methods. These are the semantics. This is the order. Package should be always in the top, followed by import, followed by class, followed by methods. Any vice versa. So any violation in this rule, okay, leads to what? Semantic errors. You cannot change the order. Package means it should always on the top of the class. Import means after package import statement should come. Then you can write down the classes. Inside classes you can have methods. Semantic orders, right? So these two things will be taken care by what? Compiler. Okay, after taking care of these two things, okay, then the compiler will do what? Compiler will convert this simple.java to what? It will convert the simple.java to simple.class file. After ensuring that there are no semantic errors and there are no syntax errors. Okay, so to produce that simple.java file, it has to go through so many things. What are the steps? Let us repeat. What are the steps? You have C drive, you have D drive, right? In the C drive, you have installed Java software. When I say Java software, always remember there is JDK, there is JRE. Inside JDK, you find Java tools, Java C and Java. Inside JRE, you find what? You find rt.jar files, executable command. In the D drive, you have written your class, okay, and you want to execute this class by talking to the command prompt. You have opened the command prompt. The first job is write directory. Write directory means you have to place this command prompt. Your command prompt should point to the right directory. When I say right directory, where you are storing, where you are saving your Java files, .java files, that is called as right directory. Okay, so you are successfully pointing it to the right directory. So this is the directory. Inside the D drive, there is a folder called Java 2 folder. Inside the D drive, there is a folder Java 2. Inside that you are saving the Java files. So after giving the right directory, you want to activate the compilation. You want to perform the compilation. For that, you are giving the command like command java c space simple.java. Okay, now the command prompt will try to identify where is this java c command, in which locations. Two locations. One is operating system command list. It is, since Java is not default software in the operating system, it won't be here. Second thing is, it will identify the environmental variables. So you as a programmer, after downloading the software, you need to ensure that you are adding this absolute path inside these environment variables. Okay. After this, okay, it is able to identify, okay, there is a path given by the programmer. Where is the path? C program file Java JDK bin. Okay. The command prompt will run here and there to try to find the path and try to go through this path, and it is going to identify, okay, there is a command for Java C. It will execute this command. Execute means just turning on this command, going to hit this command. After hitting this command, Java will take care. What Java will do? Java will take care of compilation. How it is going to take care of compilation? As soon as it is hit, what file you want to compile? That is also you are specifying simple.java you want to compile, right? That simple.java will go inside the compiler. This compiler will check for what? Syntactical errors and semantic errors. Right? After checking these two errors, if there are no violations, the simple.java gets converted to simple.class file. Are we good with the compilation? Everyone? Any confusion? I think there is a lot of confusion between this, right? Are we good? Try to speak. This many things is being done behind the scenes. Everyone? Sudhir, Purnima, Prasanna, yes, no? Or type in the chat box. I'm not able to hear your voice, Sudhir. Type, are we good till now, everyone? What about others? There is Monica, there is Dinesh, there is Teja. Right? Now, question. Okay. For one class, one dot class file will be generated. For one class, one dot class file will be generated. So far, this is how the interaction is happened. Okay. Now, since I'm sharing you this file, what is the third one? What is the third point? The third point. As soon as it finds the developing tools, it will activate the activating means just executing the compiler command. Activate the compiler. Which one? Command prompt is going to do this. Okay. Once the compiler is activated, fourth point. Once the compiler is activated, what is going to do? The compilation will be performed. Isn't it? Okay, these many things are happening behind the scenes. Okay, after the compilation, fifth point. After the compilation, okay, while compiling, it will consume the source code. Right? It is going to consume the source code, right? Source code or .java file, and it keeps checking for syntax and syntax and semantic errors. Semantics errors. And if it is error free, dot class files will be generated. These many things are being done between, this is what the communication is, how the communication is happening between the Java software and the command prompt. Right? Now again, so dot class file, okay, it will check for what? These things are important. Syntax errors and semantic errors. Okay, after this, the dot class files will be produced. Or dot class file will be what? Dot class file is going to get generated. Now the question is, in the interview room, they will give you this question, okay? They will ask you, I have class A, I have class B, I have class sample. How many classes I have? I have 3 classes. They would ask you, after the compilation, how many dot class files will be generated? Any idea? Any answer? Is it only one dot class file, or is this it? The number is going to change according to the classes. Anyone? You perform the compilation. After the compilation, how many dot class files will be generated? Any idea? Talk. One. What about others? Prasanna. One dot class file. Okay. Always remember, guys. Dot class files is directly proportional to number of classes. I say that for each and every class, one dot class file will be generated. Right? Where is the proof? You are saying it just like that. Where is the proof? Is a question, right? Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Okay. Now focus here. I have 3 classes: class A, class B, class C. Right? Now I am saving this. Okay. So what is the file name that I have to choose? Anyone? I have 3 classes. What is the
Simple.java.
Yeah, simple.java. Simple.java. Why simple.java? Because you always need to, it is compulsion to choose the class name which is of public type. This is public, so public class name should be chosen. Simple.java. Okay, I have saved this. Okay, I need to perform the compilation. Right? So what is the command for compilation? Simple.java. Java C space simple.java. So because of Java C, this command prompt will check in operating system locations, and also it will check in the environment variables. It will find the command, it will find this command, and it will switch on this Java C. Then the compilation will be started. Okay. Moment I click on, compilation is successful. How I can say it is successful? You are not getting any errors. Now the question is, how many dot class files are getting generated? You go and see those. See, there are 3 dot class files: class A, class B, and simple. This is not dot class file. This is Java file. There are 3 class files: class file, 3 dot class file. Okay. So if the question is how many dot class files will be generated for this particular program, the answer is 3, because there are 3 classes. Right? Is it applicable only for classes? Is it applicable only for classes? No. Again, the follow-up question: is it applicable only for classes? Then you should answer them like, no. There are few cases. There are also few containers. Don't worry about this. Like class, similar like class, there is a concept called interface. Interface is a container. It is just like a class. For now, just think that, like similarly, just like class, there is also a keyword called interface. You can keep any name. Let me keep the name of site. Okay. So like this, when you say default class, there is also a class called what? There is also a class called abstract class. So don't worry about this. What is abstract class things and all. We take abstract classes. If we have abstract keyword, it is abstract class, guys. You don't have anything, it is default class. If you have public, it is a public class. For now, just keep it in mind. So there is an interface, there is an abstract class, and there is an inner class. What is that inner class? When you keep a class inside a class, for example, let us say I have a class Z, right? Inside this container, inside this boundary, if I place another class as Y, no confusion. Let me copy this. Let me copy everything. Let me take it in the paintbrush. Okay, now you see this is my program. Okay, this is my program. Okay, see, this is one block, interface block. Don't worry about this interface. Just imagine that just like a class, but instead of using class, you're using an interface. And this is one class, abstract class. You're using abstract keyword, so this becomes abstract class. Okay, and if you see this, there is a class inside a class. There is a class within a class. Okay, this inside class will become inner class. Inner class. Okay, and this becomes outer class because you're placing a class inside. That is also possible in Java. Future topic. Don't keep any future topic. And this is ordinary class, a default class you can say, and this is also default class and public class. Okay, now the dot class file will be generated for interface. Okay, now it becomes i.java. Okay, the dot class file will be generated for abstract class, it becomes e.java. Okay, the dot class file will be generated for outer class, which is what z.java. The dot class file will be generated for, sorry, why I am using Java, guys? It should be dot class, okay, not Java, dot class. I dot class, e dot class, okay, z dot class. Let me rewrite. Sometimes it happens. Brain fog. Dot class, z dot class. Okay. And for inner class also, a dot class file will be generated like outer class dollar symbol, inner class dot class. Okay. And for this A class, A dot class. Okay. For this B class, B dot class. I have taken this as one container. Okay, this is separate. There is a separate B class and there is a separate simple class. Okay. And for simple class, one dot class file. What I'm trying to say is, okay, it is not about number of classes. Okay, even if you have interface, for this one dot class file will be generated. For abstract class, one dot class file generated. For inner class, one dot class file. For outer class, one dot. Totally four. This is five. This is six. Okay, and last, totally in this case, there should be seven dot class files. Okay, file. Remove all this. Copy this. Me delete. Let me paste this. I have this many things. Interface I have, abstract class I have, outer class, inner class, and two normal class, default class, and one public class. Okay, I want to save this as file, save as simple dot. After saving, I want to perform the execution. Java C space simple dot Java. Okay, I mean compilation. Compilation is successful. Let us see how many dot class files are generated. If you see 1 class file, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 6, 7, right? Making sense? For interface also dot class file, abstract class 2, this one is 3, this one is 4, outer 4, inner 3, outer 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, if you get knocked out of the meeting, please rejoin. Only 5 more minutes completed. Okay. So this is how in the interview question, if they are asking you how many dot class files will be generated, by showing you a class, you should be in a position to answer them. If they would ask you, okay, so thank you for joining. what I was saying. Okay, interview question. What is the question? How many dot class files will be generated after the compilation? Right? Very simple. You would be answering what? Answer is very simple. It depends upon number of classes that we have defined in the Java file. If you have 10 number of classes, 10 dot class files will be generated. I can also say that it is directly proportional to number of classes. Okay. Second question is, is it, will the dot class files will be generated only for classes, or else I can also say that dot class files are limited only for classes? Question. Dot class files are limited only for Java classes? Okay, the answer is no. Dot class files will be generated for the following entities. Okay. Generated for the following entities. What are they? Classes, Java class, and you have interface. Okay. And you have what? Abstract class. Okay. You have what? Inner class. And also I forgot one thing. You have something like enum. Everything is just like a class. Okay. 90% you will be using classes. 10% interfaces. Abstract class are very rare. Inner class also nowadays very rare. These enums you will be using 2%. Majority of the functionalities will be written inside the class, but this has some advantage, this has some advantage. Some advantages are there that we are going to discuss in the future classes. But if I ask, enum is just a keyword, guys. Instead of class you can use enum for constants. In future we are going to discuss all these topics in the future. Okay? All these remaining topics will be discussed in the future. Now if I ask you a question, now you tell me, if I have a class A, class B, inside this class B I have class C, okay, and I have taken enum in the lowercase letter, enum D, okay, interface. Okay. How many dot class files will be generated for this particular Java file? How many dot class files are expected to be generated?
5.
Yes, one A dot class file, inner dot class 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you have a conclusion, right? So dot class files are generated for all these entities, including class, right? So if you're taking 10 numbers, 20 numbers, that is equivalent to 20 dot class files or 10 dot class. Okay. So this is just about the compilation. We have understood just about the compilation, how the compilation is happening behind the scenes. Tomorrow we will understand about the execution. Tomorrow we will understand about the complete JRE, Java runtime environment. Today we have just understood about Java developing kit. Tomorrow JRE, Java runtime environment. There you will get complete clarity. Okay, after knowing all these the internal things, then using this what we call Eclipse editor and the STS editors, online integrated editors. Okay, it is going to be very easy if you understand these internal things. You will not make simple mistakes. When in the interview room, I mean, even when you are developing applications, your mind will be crystal clear where to write classes, how to write classes, how the compilation is happening by using editors. These things will become very clear. These are the internal things. You won't find this anywhere in the in the YouTube channels, or nowhere you will find this. You will get this from the textbooks, right? I have just converted that and I have presented this. Okay, are you finding it interesting or boring? You will find it interesting once we start developing programs. Till that, there will be little boring. Can you answer? Is it boring or interesting? At least give me some genuine answers so that we can conclude. Boring or interesting?
Interesting.
What about others? Only Suthir is showing interesting.
Interesting.
Simply saying interesting because I will feel bad, huh? Okay then.